Pacers taking on Toronto. And it's going to be the Pacers off the tip. Hill dishes to George. And it's Lowry with the rebound.
You know, no doubt last year a bit of a loss for Paul George. I mean, had to sit out most of it after that gruesome leg injury in the Team USA scrimmage.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. And so in the game for the Pacers, we've got Ellis. Paul George is out there with Lavoy Allen. Then there's Hill, and it's Turner in at the center position. And that one's good. And thinking back on George's injury, still a very graphic image in everyone's mind, but he was able to bounce back.
Yeah, it was great to see him get some game time before the end of the season after that horrific injury. A credit to him working as hard as he did, as well as to the training staff that got him back to be able to play before the end of the season.
DeRozan with it. Picked up by Ellis. The shot by Lowry, no good. For Indiana, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Now the feed to George. And he banks in the layup.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Toronto's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Stolen by George. To the middle. Turner passes to Hill. From down in the low post, it goes. Hill's got his first basket.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Lowry kicks to Biyombo. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. Inside, and Turner throws it down.
Tell you what, he's not an easy guy to stop when he's got his sight on the rim.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
Did he just go chop there with that one-hand tomahawk slam?
Now Ellis following the three-point attempt by DeRozan. In the corner, George with it. This one for 3 falls through. He's now made 2 of 4.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
Now here's Biyombo. They grab their own miss outside for Lowry. And he hits the jump shot. Lowry's got his first 2 points of the night. Indiana leading by 4. We're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. Hill dishes to George. They get it back, and it's Turner finishing it off.
And, guys, isn't it great to see a player who works that hard on the glass at both ends?
Well said, G. That's the way he has built, his reputation. Clark grinding away, 100% effort all the time.
And Kevin, all that effort pays off. How many of those spectacular putback jams do we see from this guy? A bunch.
Here's George. After Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Yeah, they're lasered in. I mean, really making the most of their possessions.
Now, here's Warren. There's the pick. Patterson, the screen. And it's Kyle Lowry with the three. Lowry's got 5 points so far.
And how about that for a response?
Well, it sounded as though, or at least it looked as though it sounded like, we'll give you a three, and then we'll take it right back.
Here's George. 8 points for him. George missing again.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Everyone knows about the Paul George injury from last year and how it affected the Pacers. He said almost the entire season, and there was no doubt they missed him.
Yeah, and when George came back, Kevin, the Pacers got hot, but they had to put him on a minutes limit. And it wasn't just George, though. The team as a whole had a lot of injuries during the course of the season.
And, you know, as you said, the Pacers did have problems with injuries. The team roster missed 219 games due to injury. So compare that to the 69 games missed by the Pacers in 2014. Big difference.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Luis Scola, he's checked in for Bismack Biyombo. Damari Carroll comes in for Patrick Patterson. Ross is checked in for Warren. And Corey Joseph subbed in for DeMar DeRozan. Got a piece of it. Fast break Toronto. Ross leading the charge, so they take the lead.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing. And really, guys, the most telling part of the Pacers' injury troubles was this. Had to use 15 different starting lineups over the course of the season. Just hard to stay consistent and competitive when you are always replacing an injured player in the lineup.
And the basket by Hill.
And another lead change here. How many of these are we going to have tonight?
I'm not quite sure, but I'm willing to bet it'll be more than a few.
Now here's Joseph. Scola, terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, but neither team really able to jump ahead.
It reminds me of that cameo song, Back and Forth.
Hill against Lowry. Hill passes to Hill. Out to Stuckey. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. And that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. And stolen by Kyle Lowry. It's stolen by Hill. Fast break. Here comes Indiana. Now the dish to Mahinmi. Pass to Hill. In the corner, Miles with it. Here's Mahinmi. Tries yet again, and the layup is good.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
And talk to Monte Ellis. He says he feeds off his doubters. He loves to hear.
I think I had that all my life. Always.
And Monte Ellis is still trying to prove people wrong now in Dallas after their quick exit from the playoffs a season ago. Clark, it's been a decade in the league now for this very talented guard.
And you know, that kind of relentless determination is really something Monte is known for, and one of the reasons he has been around for 10 years in the NBA as a consistently good player and lethal scorer.
Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Pacers.
Well, I like the fact they've already been getting a lot of high-quality shots in the paint.
Also, guys, the passing has been terrific in the first half. They'll be happy with all those assists.
And so in the game for the Pacers, Stuckey and George make up the perimeter. Mahinmi is out there with Lavoy Allen. And it's Ellis in at the point. Well, I'm sure you guys have heard this, that the nickname that has been given to DeMar Carroll, the Junkyard Dog, I think it's apropos. Kid drafted out of Missouri back in the 2009 draft.
Yeah, and he actually had to show perseverance to hang around as he bounced around a bit. I think he's found a home now.
Indiana leading. Outside, George. It's Allen on the wing. Here's Ellis. Offensive rebound. Second chance shot. Out to Stuckey. Lets it go from deep. And yes, sir, that one drops. And the Pacers lead by 4.
You might not think of him as a laser three-point shooter, but that shot was there for him, and he had to take it.
On the wing, DeRozan. He's guarded by Stuckey. That is good. DeRozan's got 5 now.
You know, he'll make you scratch your head and throw your hands up as a defender. I mean, you just don't know how to play him.
On the wing, Ellis. Quarter number 2, we're about 2 minutes in. It's George on the wing. And it's George again missing.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
Inside, here's DeRozan, and count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Warren's checked in for Toronto. Turner's checked in for Indiana. Thing about DeMar DeRozan, he came into the league fairly unpolished, struggled to handle the ball, created then his own shot, and but sometimes he would create for others too. But he's settled down. You can see the growth.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. You could see the physical talent was there in terms of him playing the 2. The question was, could he make the commitment mentally to become a great player? Well, from what he's done the last few years, I would have to say he's definitely been able to do that.
Biyombo. The shot misses.
That's some more rugged play from them inside. They have a decent edge in rebounds thus far.
And all that hard work on the boards needs to continue because that potentially may swing the game.
Here's DeRozan. Got a piece of it.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Stuckey kicks to George. And good as it rattles through the hoop. And now a 3-point Indiana lead.
And, you know, getting back to DeRozan, he's put a spit shine on his offense. Over the past 2 seasons, averaged over 20 points a game, was also good for 3 or 4 assists, showing everybody how work ethic can overcome unrefined skills.
Ellis wide open. And good coming on the assist by Rodney Stuckey. Ellis has got his 2nd bucket tonight. Stuckey against DeRozan. It's good from long range.
You know, for DeMar DeRozan, scary to think that he's still scratching the surface of his potential. Made his first All-Star appearance in 2014. Was a little dinged up last year, but still very effective. No doubt he's the real deal.
And the Pacers call time here. Some changes for Toronto. Luis Scola, he's checked in for Biyombo. Terrence Ross comes in for Patrick Patterson. And it's Lowry in for Corey Joseph. Then for the Pacers, Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Lavoy Allen. C.J. Miles comes in for George. And George Hills subbed in for Rodney Stuckey.
I still can't believe that one didn't fall.
Right side Lowry. Good work defensively by Turner.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Indiana's gone 2 of 4 from 3-point range so far in the 2nd quarter. Ellis dishes to Turner. Pick up by Hill. Turner passes to Hill. Outside for Miles. Indiana again missing. Toronto's gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly. Ross, that's good.
Oh, and look at how well he led him in there. Really, he passed him open for that deuce.
To the middle. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Hill. Here's the 2K leaderboard with last season's best free throw shooting teams.
You know, it's interesting when you look at this team, Kevin. I mean, they found a way to get their whole team to knock down free throws at a consistent level. I mean, a team that can't make free throws, that's a huge liability and one you don't want to deal with. They'd like to repeat their success at the line this year.
Ross with a wide open look. And again, Toronto with the triple.
You know, sometimes you don't like to see guys pull up from 3-point range on the break, but for him, with nobody on him, that's a pretty good shot.
Screen by Ellis. Ellis with the screen for Hill. Ellis outside. Can they get it? Good. The assist goes to Hill. Hill's got his